How are you?
Um, Good, how are you?
Good, thank you.
I
I'm
was just
looking at,
setting up the recording.
okay, I'm looking over what you sent me.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I can talk through that a little bit. So those are my notes from meditation, so you don't have
Mhm.
to review them. Questions that I received from connecting with you.
Mhm.
So to start off, I typically offer that to you. Oh, it says there's a connection with this one. Sorry, I'll just pop off the Wi-Fi on my phone, see if that works. Cool. Um, yeah, so those are my notes, and I like to offer those to you so you can kind of get your own reading from the impressions that I received. So it's giving you an opportunity to connect with it in a different way. But I'll also share my impressions through those notes too. So you don't have
Okay,
to.
awesome.
Some things might not make sense there.
Okay.
And then let me check. I want to make sure my. Uh, okay. I had my laptop plugged in and it's slowly dying, so hopefully it makes it through.
It's
I was,
okay. I was trying to get on my computer and it wouldn't let my microphone work. So,
oh boy,
so we're good now.
good. Do you have a, is there an aura behind you or is that what, there's like a
Oh,
changing.
it's called a infinite objects. It's a lava lamp. It just like does different movements and designs and stuff. So yeah, it's kind of I get kind of like an aura. Yeah.
Yeah, at first I thought it was a photograph and then I saw it moving. It's really cool.
Yeah, they have like a whole bunch of different like versions of it, but I had to get
Mm.
that one. I love
Oh,
it.
so cool. Amazing. Um, Okay, so do you have any questions or anything before we move in? I'll start the meditation and just lost. Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
um,
that was
I'll,
me, I
I'll,
think.
oh, you're good. Yeah, and if you need to take time off screen and stuff too, like, this is your space to kind of experience it however you feel called to.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, I'll move into the painting. You're welcome to read through the notes if you want to, if you feel called to. You can also just meditate or watch me paint, whatever you want to do at
Okay.
this time. It'll just take a few minutes, and then I'll talk through what came up in the painting and the meditation.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for connecting with me. I can't remember when you first reached out, but it's been a little while.
It's been a little while, yeah, probably like 2 or 3 months. Everything got
Yeah,
crazy and hectic.
yeah, which I think has been a good kind of busy for you, right?
Yeah, for the most part.
Maybe just a little crazy.
Yeah.
And have you ever had or a photograph or painting or any or a
I,
reading or anything done?
nope, I have not.
Oh. Can you see aura?
Sometimes, but not as fluidly as you can. It's not one of my like top abilities that I'm tapped into.
Yeah, I think everyone has it in some capacity.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Crown, receiving a lot at all times. Yep.
I was like, oh man, that my impression was like, wow, that's a lot going on there.
It's like a busy intersection at all times.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's very spot on. Head spinning, connecting. Yep. Yep.
You're welcome to talk through anything that comes up for you as well.
Okay. Okay. So the post that I made on YouTube, a lot of people were saying purple and blue, and you're starting with purple and blue.
That's amazing.
Like at least 5 to 10 people said purple and blue.
Okay, yeah, yep, that's you. That's cool. Did that resonate for you?
It did, yeah. But you start with purple and blue like that.
You're like, okay. That's funny.
They can see me.
Yeah. What's your sort of main platform, or do you just kind of dabble through
YouTube and TikTok.
Okay.
I've been doing YouTube longer, but my TikTok platform's bigger, so kind of a balance between the two.
Yeah, nice. You still enjoy that side of your business? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. I know a lot of people can experience burnout from that kind of thing, but it's nice when you can find a balance and kind of play with it.
Yeah, that was my thing recently, was finding the balance after burnout, because I got life happened and that's when the burnout came in. So
yeah, I know that feeling. I had to take a little break from social media too. It's just nice to have in-person connection and kind of reopen that.
Yeah, I recently reopened doing personal readings. I took a little break from that, so reopened that.
You're in New Jersey?
Yep, New Jersey,
okay.
Near Atlantic City, kind of.
Okay.
And like Ocean City area.
Cool. Have you always lived there?
No, I'm from Philadelphia area.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I've been down here for like 12, 13 years probably.
Okay. Now it's saying that my laptop's dying really quickly. Sorry about that. I might have to just switch to just the phone at some point.
Yeah, that's fine. Whatever you have to do, no problem.
I have a backup charger, and the charger showed me that it had power, and I thought we were all good, and then it just died.
That's actually interesting you say that, because I pulled out an old laptop just yesterday and I plugged it in, and the lights were still on because I was going to send it to someone. The lights were still on, but it wouldn't show the screen. It's the same thing you just said. It's charging, but not working.
Always weird when themes like that show up. You're like, there's something going on here.
Right.
I will take a photo and send this to you so you can see it a little bit better too.
Okay. Thank you.
Really beautiful how it's all blending together.
Yeah, it's just exciting.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of the colors from the infinite objects that you pointed out.
Oh yeah, true. I love that. It's always fun because people sometimes they'll paint people and they're like, those are my favorite colors. I'm like, how did that happen?
That's actually true. They are.
Nice. Sorry, I don't know why it just disconnected here now. All kinds of technical issues today.
Story of my life. It's not you, it's me. I bring these problems with me.
Oh, no worries. We make it work, but I'm sure my laptop will be dying soon, so I'll have to switch. But we'll start.
Okay.
Actually, maybe I don't want it to interrupt things. Maybe I could just switch to just my phone now, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, absolutely, no problem.
It'll just be a little smaller, or you won't get the double screen action happening.
That's fine.
Let me just here. I'm gonna pop off here. I had plans to go to another coffee shop, and I went walking up with all my stuff, and it was closed. And that space, I knew I had like a private space that I could plug in and everything. So I'm like, all right, it's just been like all these pivots today.
That's because you're in my energy.
That's okay. We work with it.
One step forward, two steps back. One step forward.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, I'm just trying to switch my AirPod connection.
Take your time.
And it should still keep the recording going. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, and now we're getting this switched.
You know what's crazy? You have like a little dot on my nose, and I used to have a nose ring, but I don't have it in anymore. So I have the hole, but not the nose ring. So there's literally no way you could have known that. And you have a dot right on the same side.
Oh, that's too funny. I actually, when I did that, I was like, this is interesting. I don't know what that is, but that's
you can
really
barely
funny.
see it, but it's still there. I haven't had it in so long. That's so funny.
I don't know why it's still showing the other me still there. So if you want to pin one of them, you could do that too.
No problem.
All right, now we're here. And I got enough juice on my phone, so we're good there. Okay, so yeah, I'd like to open it up for you. Obviously, you're already gaining impressions and little things that you're seeing in the aura. Is there anything with the notes or the aura or anything that immediately you're pulled to, or you want to talk through at all? You don't have to either.
Just this part right here. Is this like stuff from my crown coming down into my third eye?
Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of really really strong while also soft energy. That was kind of like in general a lot of what I got from you, and that's very present at your third eye. A lot of like receiving strong energy, while also keeping it like very soft. Does that make sense?
Yes, definitely. Thank you.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, so that's definitely very present there. Anything else of the notes? Anything stand out to you?
No. I mean, yes, but I want to hear you.
Yeah, we can talk it through. Let me get a sip of my little tea real quick. Okay, so I immediately, just entering meditation for you, was so excited to connect with you. I like it. Just immediately was like so much heart and so much play were like the two energies that I felt for you. Also, I know you mentioned that you wanted to record this. I think it shows me that it's still recording. Some people do voice recording. It should still be good, because I set it up on my laptop, but I just wanted to offer that to you in case you need to do anything.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, when I connect with you, I basically ask to go to where your soul is and what energies are about you. So everyone kind of takes me on a different journey to connect with them, and you took me down this like big slide and we entered through your heart. So it was immediately, I was just like, oh, this is going to be really fun. Like, you took me on this journey. So I basically was going to drop in, and it was the moment I got to my heart was when we entered into you and into your energy and your soul. So I went through this slide, and if you see the image, so I kind of drew it out a little bit. So it basically was entered through the heart, and then we kind of did some like wavy motions on this slide, and it took me down, and it showed me you in this form of an angelfish. So you had all of these like beautiful layers, just kind of like, I wrote like whimsical extensions. And I offer this to you as like an impression of what you carry in this human body too. Does that make sense? So it's like, it's kind of metaphorical, but it felt very connected. Whatever comes up in this reading is typically like I feel that we are carrying energy of all different parts of our being in all different forms. So this feels prevalent for you right now. So yeah, it took me through like down into the sea. So we kind of dipped into the water, took into this form of the angelfish and these whimsical extensions of you, and it was very soft and fluid. So immediately was just really nice and playful heart energy. Then it took me up kind of to the next like wave, and it showed me you as a cardinal, as like a red bird. And so it was like this really beautiful juxtaposition of like the depths of the sea and the height of the sky. And then it kind of like carried on into your human form. And I wrote from fin to feathers. You have this ability to like be in all of these sort of places at once, and carrying those energies of like what it feels like to be in the depths of the sea, what it feels like to have that higher perspective, and bringing that all into kind of that middle center plane, through your heart. It also, so I went through this whole journey and I was kind of exploring some things, and it took me back. It was like, wait, you missed something along this ride. So we almost like went in reverse. And it showed me almost like a zipper where you took me through, because these were sort of your earth energies, of the fish in the sea and the bird in the sky. And it took me through this zipper, and we kind of like peeked through, and it was like, oh, you're also connected to yourself in this like otherworldly figure, this otherworldly being. You had this like lizard-like kind of form. I wrote that you had like purple skin, yellow gold spots, and your eyes were just like beaming and glowing, and it felt very connected to like your ability to see things, like your sight. Feels really important for you, and sight in the kind of ethereal realm and beyond like human sight, sight in like perspective and that like multiplicities of your being able to see through the sea, through the sky, through this otherworldly kind of experience. So yeah, that was the like sort of wave and slide and playful ride that we went through to immediately connect with you. I wrote here, there, everywhere. So you were kind of like able to be here, able to be there, able to be like some other world. I asked where your energy sort of originated, and or kind of like how you're connected to this earth. It took me to, I wrote as old as bones. It took me to your energy, showing up like in the form of matter as bones. And it was almost like you were receiving information, before being in like a human or animal or any like fish kind of forms. You were like collecting information and storing this memory from like, and that feels like a representation of you, like the strength of bones and that like inner strength. That felt like a metaphor for you of who you are, and that sort of like center column. So yeah, old as bones. There was like a strong centering around your ability, and like your ability to kind of go through these different waves, these different places. That also feels very connected to your open crown. So your ability to connect with others through your experience and your relatability, and carrying like allowing those experiences to grow in your heart space and offer that into compassion for others. I saw a strong balance of polarities. So it's kind of like with the fish and that sort of like soft fluid nature, and then the strength of bones, like that sort of opposition. There was a lot of that sort of energy showing up for you, like this and that, and you are there at the center.
Yes. That describes my life perfectly.
Yeah, it felt really intense. And I was like, oh man, I hope like you can continue to find that center. And, you know, it feels like right now you feel able to kind of carry both energies. But I'm sure that was quite the path to get here.
It was.
Yeah. So there was a guide that came through, and I don't know if this name resonates. They said that their name was like Julia or Juliet, some J name that kind of came through. It didn't necessarily.
Yes.
It was like a very immediate, like they were like the only name that came forward, because I typically experience energies and I share that in an impression. So this one was like a very strong name that came forward. And their reminder was kind of like, I wrote, there is no above, below, in, out, it all just is. So it's like when you're experiencing that sort of this and that energy and those polarities, it's like, it all just is, like, you know, it's this and it's that, and kind of enveloping all of that into one. They also said to remember your fluidity. So whenever you're feeling that tension between things, just to remember that fluidity.
That's been the last couple of days for me, so I'm not surprised that came up.
Yeah, I feel that. I am constantly practicing surrender.
Yeah, same. Oh, before I forget, my son broke his zipper 3 days ago on his jacket.
Oh my gosh.
So you saw the zipper.
Yeah.
A couple, I think it was like 3 different little tooth things came off. So now the zipper doesn't work at all, but it's interesting. You picked up a zipper.
The zipper. Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. Interesting. Do you ever sort of explore those otherworldly places or beings for yourself?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I figured.
Yeah.
It's fun. Do you have questions on any of that before I move into the chakras?
No, that
Cool.
sounds spot on.
Cool. So with the chakras, I don't necessarily take a super traditional approach. I kind of allow the chakras to guide me through intention. So each chakra has different elements associated, the root associated with the earth. So sometimes it's not necessarily chakra in the traditional sense, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's kind of allowing me to connect with that makeup of energy within you.
Okay.
So with the root chakra, I typically go to the root and I sort of ask, are you rooted, and where are you rooted, and how are your roots? And, you know, we all are different kinds of trees, and some trees go deep and some go wide, and, you know, that kind of thing. Your energy, it showed me you as basically like a lily pad, and you were able to float on top of water. So your roots were kind of floaty and in water. An activation and question that I got for you to reflect on is, do you feel your feet here on the ground? And I saw a very strong energy for you at your heels. And it felt like even the motion that I saw for you was like standing and kind of like going up on your tiptoes and like kind of hitting your heels on the ground in the mornings to like really activate, and like, or any time that you need to, not necessarily mornings, but yeah, just really bringing your heels to the ground. But yeah, I felt like sometimes when people have that sort of top water or floaty energy, it can be like a call, like, oh, you're not here or you're not grounded. And I didn't necessarily feel that for you. I actually felt like that was your ability to be in that sort of like, to be a lily pad, you know, that was your truth. The sacral is the center for our life force, and a lot of like creative and passionate energy is alive there. Yours showed me just immediately, it was like I wrote powerful force because it was just like so much energy there. I wrote, it was as if like I saw you almost like brewing a storm out at sea. Like I saw you kind of doing like moving like this over the waters,
Like the
and
magician card.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah, that definitely feels very true for you. So yeah, it literally was just like your ability to kind of. I wrote like you have a really strong ability to turn destruction into creation, to like kind of flip things over, turn things around, like mess everything up to redo it again, that sort of thing. Like a lot of like recycling energy.
That's been my spiritual path so far. I can't find it. Oh, it was the last card in the deck.
Oh my gosh, cool. Yeah, that feels like what I saw. That's so interesting. I love working with people like you who have those kind of connections, because some people are like, I don't know what you're talking about, like stirring the sea, and you're like, oh yeah,
I got it right here.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Also, the beginning of my awakening, I injured my Achilles so bad that I was on crutches.
Oh wow.
So that's probably why you're getting that as well.
Yeah, that's so wild. Interesting. Is it feeling okay now?
Yeah, it's fine now, but
Okay. Wow.
it was
That's
bad for a
wild.
while.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. Everyone. Yeah. I had a lot of bodily things happening through my weekend too. Okay. So solar plexus, there was, there was a lot of softness with your solar plexus, and I got this activation for you to like really come into your power, to be bold. I wrote, use your lightning wand to strike, which I was like, I didn't know you had a lightning wand. um, I wrote that your celestial self is like very present with you and very ready. There was, it feels like there's been this like cleansing and sort of softening, and now it's like ready to kind of like really, the word empowerment kept coming up of like be in your power.
Yeah.
So just felt like a call and activation for you to receive all of this, to know who you are, and yeah, allow that to really ignite your fire. The heart, I wrote very big heart. It was the first thing. I mean, we entered this whole thing through your heart. I saw you with these just wide open arms, and it was like you were just giving everyone a hug, and your arms just kept getting bigger, like you had room for everyone. Like you just kept growing so that you could continue growing bigger and giving more love. Very playful, sweet, childlike, and pure energy. So like, you know, some people kind of go through like, you know, we all go through heartaches of all different sorts, and it feels like you had this ability to kind of go through anything of life and stay in the playfulness and, you know, keep it light. So there's a lot of that lightheartedness around your heart chakra. I also saw, this is sort of where it felt like you are grounded here. So as you're kind of maybe floaty on the lily pad sort of vision, it also showed me that this is where your grounding is. This is where your center is. And having that solid ground in the heart is allowing you to grow in that heart space, to expand and give more to others too. The throat. So that's, I wrote, this is where your lightning strikes. So the solar plexus of like using your lightning wand, then the throat was like, oh, this is it. So I saw these like direct lines of light coming from your throat chakra, casting out to others, and just really like bold, strong, like lightning strikes. And it felt like the expression that you give to others is like very direct, very spot on. Like it's your maybe like one line of wisdom to someone else might totally flip their life around. Like it felt like you have this ability to be very like turning over that same kind of energy that you said you worked through, of that destruction to creation. It's like you offer that to others too, and give them that ability to turn their life around, to really come into themselves, into their heart, to see themselves further. So a lot of power in your words and in your wisdom, a lot coming out there at your throat. A very strong, powerful light coming through you too. So there's a very strong connection from your crown and you're receiving, that's you're allowing to just come straight through and go through your throat.
I always say I have no filter, so that makes sense.
Yeah, but it was
There's
just
nothing filtering it.
it's going. Yeah, I know. I even as I was saying that, I was like, is there, because sometimes people receive and then they kind of question it, or they go through the heart, or they, you know, it does a lot of weaving around, and yours was like direct to the
Yep. Anyone who knows me would not be surprised to hear you say that.
That's awesome. It's nice to connect with that too, because that's been the strong part of my practice, is to let go of, you know, the anxious mind, or feeling for others and finding where it fits or whatever, and just letting it come through and letting it be. Yeah, very powerful inspiration. So the third eye, I wrote your third eye. So the energy of your third eye I saw very present through all of your senses. So it's almost like when we talk about like getting like a gut feeling, some people feel it in different parts of your body. It felt like you had this connection of your way of seeing through a different perspective through all of your senses. So I wrote innate wisdom and wonder. Wonder feels really important for you, and that like playful nature of just, I saw a lot of your intuition has been building through curiosity, through
Mm-hmm.
like just kind of playing with things and understanding how things connect to you, and
Yep.
kind of opening to greater truth. um, I asked, something came up for you of like an earthly energy too. So you have this wisdom that is of your soul, of the multiplicities of your being, and then there's something more like human and earthly that came up, and it took me to you in a human, like your maybe first life form, and you had this very simple life, and you were a mother, and it showed me you as a mother with a daughter, and there was just this like natural nurturing, and it was like this pure connection and the simplicity of like the mother daughter, um, birthing and nurturing and upbringing that taught you a lot about like it was, I wrote, there was like an immediate connection to intuition. There was like no need to question, like it was one of your first human life forms, and it was like, oh, you get it, you're like, this makes sense, this is how you do it. There was no complication and complexities of life. It was just very simple, and it felt like that came up for you as a reminder to go to the simplification of things. Like if things ever feel complex, like when we're talking about those dualities that might be present, of just to really like kind of wipe it all out and go to that like simplified way of being and that simple nature of existence. So that the crown, I literally started going like this, like, and it felt like you just have all of these like direct lines, and like as I moved, it was like, okay, I connect to this one, and then I moved this way, I connect to that one, and so then I was just like connecting to each of the lines coming in.
That's how it
which
feels in my brain all the
nice.
time.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah, I was like, this has to be really intense if you're not used to it, you know. Like for me coming into it, I was like, whoa, this is fun, but like I couldn't imagine being in that all the time. So yeah, you kind of talked about it in the beginning, but like receiving a lot at all times. And I wrote that you allow it to come fully into you, and even like into your lower chakras, there's like a really strong grounding through you, and a lot centered around your heart. So it's like if you ever don't know where to put that energy, it's like you naturally go to the heart as it comes in. You store it here, or you burst it out your throat.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, any questions on any of this before I move into the painting?
Nope. No.
Cool. Okay,
But I will say you did pick up on a major duality with the simple life daughter, because this lifetime I've had a lot of challenges, like behavior challenges and stuff with my son. So it's been the opposite. So the fact that that's incredible.
That's wild. That's interesting. Yeah. Okay, so do you prefer, I can either put the phone up and talk through it. Maybe that's the best way to do it.
I have it in front of me. It doesn't matter. Whichever way
Okay.
you
Okay, cool. So I love that you have the little nose ring.
It's just, it's like,
it's
no
fun to
way.
see that. You know, some people, they'll ask about things, and I'll just be honest. You know, I'm like, I don't really know what came up there. I'm not gonna make something up, but I was like, I don't know why there's a dot here. So I love that.
That was actually during a dark night of the soul period too, and you have that dot a lot darker than the surrounding parts. So
interesting.
Spot on.
That's wild. Okay, so the blue on that side, that's your right side, and then the kind of purples and pinks are your left side. The right side is more of like how you show up in the world, how others may see you, and the left side is more like once they get in with you, get to know you, kind of the moon side of who you are. So the right side, there's a lot of blue energy. It's a kind of a turquoisey blue that is very ethereal, and it's like this opening to, like it's an immediate opening to your soul and your expression. So your there's kind of like an outer purple pink hue that's kind of a mix of like this soft feminine wisdom and lower deeper heart. So that's kind of like outside on the right. That's almost cast off and allowing people, that's where people like enter through. They kind of feel that outside energy from you, and they enter in knowing that you have this like softness of your heart. And then as they get in, there's like, you can kind of see that it's a little bit more bold in the blue. So it's like there's that like boldness of your expression of who you are and who you are to your soul. Typically, the self shows up in yellow. It's like the solar plexus. Your self is showing up in more of that turquoisey color. Above the head, there's like a lot of receiving energy, as I mentioned. There's a lot of pink showing up above you. So it's like immediate, the pink is lower heart again. So there's like a lot of just love energy coming in through you and allow that to come out of you too. So there's that pink is also at your throat. So it's kind of coming in at your crown. And then if you see it kind of like coming up here, it's doing this sort of motion. So it's like the energy that you receive, it feels like you work with this opening of like, you are here for greater love, you are here for greater good. And there's a lot of that very present at your crown and then coming out at your throat. And rounded out into your left side, there's, as people might get closer to you, it's just like really strong, like passionate love, is what I feel. It's like, you'll do anything for them kind of feeling. So that's why if you can see where there's like pigment is more concentrated, that's sort of why. So it's the energy that's closer to your face is more of like your strong emotional body. And that's where like people that come in and really connect to you emotionally, there's this like very strong, like will do anything for you, like that kind of love present, like really so much heart. So yeah, overall, there's like a lot of pinks and purples. The purple is of the third eye too. There's just a lot of really nice connection to your wisdom and intuition and to your heart. And then there's a like very light and close on your left side. There's just this like glow kind of coming off of you that's just feels very like ethereal. Like it feels almost like a portal kind of energy too. Like it's like people that come in to you have this ability to connect with themselves on like an ethereal realm too. Does that make sense?
Yes, definitely. That's why I do what I do. So
Yeah,
definitely.
I love it. And then your eyes have a little bit more green to them, and that's heart as well. So it's like seeing through the eyes of love. There's just like a lot of really pure nature to your eyes, nose, and mouth. Sometimes, so again, there's like different concentration of pigment in different areas, and sometimes people will have like really strong eyes. Yours are very soft, and that feels like your ability to kind of it feels like sort of like the strength of your balance of those polarities and how you can hold that space for others, where it's just open, like you receive, you see things with an open mind, with an open heart. So a lot of that comes through in that sort of softness of your features, and still able to be really bold too, like in that expression, which I think is just really such a beautiful balance and offering to this world.
Thank you.
Did I miss any colors or anything? Any questions that you have?
No, but when you were talking about the blue, there was a man in a blue shirt that came behind you and walked past.
I love that you noticed
like,
that. Oh. You're like very direct. I had a lot of little signs like that coming up before coming into this session. I was really excited to meet with you for a lot of reasons, and like the energy and the signs and everything was just like so playful and fun. Really direct. It also feels like I got to experience what it is to have that open, like very, very open and receiving crown, and now it's like all showing up around me. There was a little bird sitting right next to me for a while I was setting up. It's really great.
I love it.
Any other questions that you have? Anything else I can support
No,
you on?
I mean, that's incredibly spot on.
Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, I'm excited to send it off to you so you can see it in person too.
Yeah, I'm excited
Always
too.
fun. Yeah, cool. Well, yeah, I have your mailing address through the purchase. Thank you so much for buying that art too.
Oh yeah,
That
it's gonna go right behind me
so
on the shelf
special.
somewhere.
Oh, so sweet. Yeah, that means a lot to me. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, this meant a lot to me.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm right next to a post office, so I'm just gonna go tuck it in a little mailer and get it off to you. So, yeah. Any other questions? Anything I can support you on today?
No, this is amazing. It's incredible.
Cool.
Thank you. You really have a gift.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, it was just felt really good when you reached out. It meant a lot to me to have someone like you who's in this space to come to me and trust me too, and really I feel very lifted. So thank you.
Yeah, I usually don't trust people with stuff like this, but I knew I could trust you, and I'm already blowing that.
Oh. So
Thank
special. I
you
might
so
need
much.
to book a session with you. I know you have been pretty booked out, but it would
Yeah,
be
just
fun
whenever,
to.
no, I'll fit you in.
All right, cool. Amazing. Yeah, thank you so much. I'll send
Thank
you
you
the
so much.
recording as well. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. I can't wait to share it with everybody. There's a lot of people going to be booking with you, I think, after this. So
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
thank you.
Sending you lots of love.
You as well. Thank you again.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.